Is Valorant dying? There's certainly sentiment online that it does appear to be dying. It's less popular, there's less people playing it, less viewership. So let's objectively take a look and actually see what's going on. In case you didn't know, Riot Games does not actually officially release player count numbers for any of their games. So we're going to have to look at a couple different other statistics to get a sense of what's happening here. If you want the quick and dry answer on is Valorant dying, it is indeed less popular, and the player base is dwindling. Player base and viewership is dwindling in these countries. But interestingly, it's actually increasing, I would say, quite heavily in Asian countries specifically. We're going to talk about that later. So the first thing we're going to look at is Twitch viewership. This is casual viewership of the game. And you don't need to be a rocket scientist to read this graph. It's going down. Going down quite a large amount, I would say, as well. Compared to the peak of the game here in 2022, mid-2022, it has essentially just decreased with small peaks, small resurrections, but it's been going down a lot. This is casual viewership. Next thing we can look at is competitive viewership. Here, on this left side here, we have competitive viewership from 2020 to now. You can see it's peaked in 2024, and these last 2 years it has indeed decreased. I do want to note, though, that Champions, which is their largest tournament of the year, has not been played. This will probably end up going up to 1.3, potentially 1.4. So I want to say tournament viewership is still good, but it is decreasing for sure. I mean, we can look. This is down. This is less than this number is less than this number. This number is less than this number. It is decreasing. That's a fact. And I mean, this is true for the regional circuits as well, happening right now. I do want to note that I believe these are all-time lows for the international tournaments. This is just regular season play. These are all-time lows for America and Europe. Note that Pacific is quite high, 300K. We're going to talk about that later. So we've looked at casual viewership and tournament viewership. Both are decreasing. Something really interesting that I do want to talk about actually is in the game itself. This is as close as we can get to actual player count numbers. Something that's been happening is that there are just less people hitting Radiant in the game. This is I do want to highlight this. This is the most telling stat out of anything in this video. Is if we actually take a look, you can see that this is 2 or 3 acts ago, there was only 265 people that hit Radiant. If you don't know, there's a 500, usually there's 500 Radiants in an act. That is the limit. You need to hit 450 RR to get into Radiant. This act, only damn near half the cap was reached. This means that there was just nobody playing the game, nobody grinding, and only 265 people hit Radiant. You can see here that the cap is 450. The following season, Riot actually decided to lower this to 300 because they would have looked at those numbers and been like, holy shit, this is not good. We need more people to get into Radiant. It looks better, obviously. And I mean, that's what they did. This is the following act after that. You can see 500 people were able to get into Radiant. But then the act after that, only 394. Still, you can see here the 300 threshold. There is just less people play. I mean, this is the most telling stat. In North America, at least, this is the American server, that there is just less people playing the game. And so previously the RR threshold was 450. If they didn't change that threshold, how many people would have been Radiant this last act? There would have only been 39? Is that not absurd? The 39th person has 450 RR. In this act down here, they would have been 266th. That, to me, is kind of mind-blowing. There's just less people playing the game in North America. In North America, I want to point that out. But that is the most telling stat on player count that we have. It's telling. I don't know how else to put it. I do want to note that we've been talking about North America and Europe mostly in terms of decreasing player counts. It's actually doing the exact opposite in Asia, Korea, and China. So I want to look at this post from 5 years ago talking about how Valorant is gaining popularity in Korea. You can see these are player count numbers for PC bangs in Korea. You can see down here that Valorant is 10th. This is 5 years ago. If we look at these same stats today, Valorant is actually second in Korea. It's went from the 10th most popular game to the second most popular game, and it's still the second most popular game right now, only behind League of Legends. Makes sense, Faker and all. The same is true in China. If you don't know, Tencent owns Riot Games. Tencent is a Chinese company. This is their earnings report for 2025. And here they're claiming that within China, Valorant is the second most popular game in internet cafes. So in China and Korea, respectively, it's the second most popular games. Pretty absurd. Again, looking at this regional viewership graph, we can see that Pacific, happening right now, is peaked at 300K viewers. That's almost more than America and Europe together. Just to put that into perspective, we're saying that these countries on the map, excluding China, China has its own circuit. These countries on the map have more viewership than all of this combined. I mean, that's crazy. It is real. This game is really popular in Asia. It's very popular. So we've looked at the stats. The game is clearly less popular in these in these countries. The question is why? The $1 million question is why. And to be honest, it's kind of hard to say. If we look, it's not as if they stopped updating the game. This is the agents and maps released in the last 4 years. I mean, we can see that they've been releasing 3 agents a year, two in 2024. This year, they've actually only released 1. I don't really want to say that's the reason it's decreasing. They've been steadily updating the game. Not to mention, they've been adding new weapons. They just added this in 2026, and they added the Outlaw in 2024. So it's really hard to pinpoint it down to a specific reason. But it's just interesting to note that I would say the player count for Valorant is decreasing. This is a fact based on the numbers. Now, with all of that being said, is Valorant dead? The answer to that is clearly not. I mean, if we look right now, this is live, Twitch viewership. Where is Valorant? Okay, well, that's actually kind of bad. Valorant is currently the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th. Valorant is 12th. I did just check this 30 minutes ago, and it actually was 6th. But top 12 in viewership. I mean, it's still clearly a popular game. Is the game dying? Dying in the sense that number is going down. Yes, but is it dead? Far from it. I mean, if we want to look at dead games, I don't know. I love Dota too, but we're not doing too hot. Rainbow's down here. I mean, if Jinxie's not playing Rainbow, Rainbow's dead. Call of Duty, Arc Raiders. There are far more dead games. Valorant is Valorant is very far from a dead game, but the numbers are going down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. If Riot, shifts their strategy at all, or if the main strategy is to perhaps just add more skins. Who knows, man? That's a pretty midnight market, but yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get an update on these numbers in the future, but is Valorant dying? Number is going down. It is.